welcome back to another episode of Las Chismosas. We're happy you're here. Today we are joined by a very special guest. She is my friend. Her name is Sadie. Say hello, Sadie.
Hi.
Sadie's going to be joining me today while we talk about some really interesting things. And we are reviewing a wine today. I know how much you guys have missed us reviewing wine, so it's back. And we are drinking Santa Cristina. Is that the name of it? Or is that the lady who made it?
No,
Santa?
Santa.
No, we're drinking Santa's wine.
Not Santa, for sure.
Merry Christmas. All right, so we'll let you guys know how it is. I'm going to take a little sippy. Let's see.
I've already had a drink.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It does the trick.
Yeah, that's at first. Usually the first sip hits me, so I feel like we're in for a good time. But I'll let you guys know my final thoughts at the end of the episode. So, as you guys know, we've been on a break. And in this time of being on a break, I have fallen down the rabbit hole of documentaries and docuseries. Because that's how I like to spend my time. And so today we are breaking from our norm where we pull people's, stories off the internet, because this story was just too crazy and I needed us to talk about it. So we are talking about the Twin Flames universe, also known as the Twin Flame Ascension School. So you ask, what is a twin flame? A twin flame is an intense connection between two individuals who are supposedly two halves of one whole. So I guess like a synonym for this would be like a soulmate. That's the only synonym I can think of. It's just soulmate.
Yeah.
So they don't like to call themselves a cult, but it's a full-on cult. And the cult leaders' names are Jeff and Shalia Ayan, and they started their journey on YouTube talking about their spiritual connection and that he and his wife are twin flames, and here's all the things you can do to find your twin flame, hence the birth of the Twin Flame Ascension School. And it was a really big hit because they weren't saying like their classes could possibly lead you to their twin flame. They were like guaranteeing, like, if you take our classes, you do our coaching sessions, which are not cheap, by the way, that you are 100% going to find your twin flame and live happily ever after.
Red flag.
I mean, literally.
Immediate red flag.
Immediately. But, if you would have, like, if the Twin Flame Ascension School would have been around when Gabby was, like, 18 or 19 years old, I would have been like, yeah,
Maybe.
My forever love. Absolutely.
Maybe.
So who are Jeff and Shalia? So again, Jeff and Shalia, leaders of the cult, started out as a spiritual, like, love gurus or whatever. Essentially, Jeff is what happens when you give a narcissistic man a platform. Honestly, like any man that hates women, when you give them a platform. From the get-go, like, he was like, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, yada, yada, yada. And he went to business school, and he very quickly, after leaving business school, started getting into, like, trying to make money. So he moved to, like, Hawaii, and he changed his name to Ender.
That's so cringy.
Yeah, because he liked the book Ender's Game. Yeah.
No, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Anyway.
he was in Hawaii living his best spiritual life, and he was like, if you want to learn how to be an adventurer like I am and take the most out of your life, you should pay me money to coach you. And people were like, but Jeff, you, like, don't have any experience in coaching people. And he's like, the best experience is to not have experience. And so, yeah, he was selling coaching sessions on how to be just like him. And Shalia was, her actual name is Megan Plante, I think. Something like that. But her actual name's Megan. She also moved to Hawaii, changed her name to Shalia, and started doing, like, tarot readings and, like, really, like, leaning into, like, the spiritual side, which, like, that there's nothing wrong with. Lean in, like, have some spirituality, do your tarot readings, cute. But so her and Jeff get together, and he's like, you're my twin flame. And she's like, oh my God, yeah, we're each other's twin flames. And they formed this really strong connection and decided to show the world how they too could have that love connection. So, yeah. Any thoughts on Jeff and Shalia just by themselves?
I know I've said red flags already,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, two white people
Yeah.
going to Hawaii.
Literally.
And taking on these, like, I don't want to say it's shamanistic
Mm-hmm.
vibes. It's like red flag.
Yeah, literally.
Two walking red flags, to be honest.
If you guys don't know, you should stop going to Hawaii, okay? Stop going to Hawaii. The locals want their land back.
They don't want us there.
Stop vacationing there. There's plenty other places you could go. Leave Hawaii alone.
Let them live.
Literally. Oprah, give them back their land, too. I'm just saying. All right. So, Jeff and Shalia are like these like spiritual masters, yada, yada, yada. But what I found really weird enough that I had to like mention it here, is they would just like flaunt their wealth like all the time. So they would do like these little like, yeah, so if you do our mirror exercise and you reflect on yourselves, you're going to find your twin flame. And then Jeff would be like, and look at this Porsche I just bought.
Yes.
And then they'd be like, if you want the true meaning of happiness, you have to really invest yourself in our coaching. And also, look at my, like, mansion and my massive pool in the back. So, like, to me, that just, like, that would piss me off.
Yeah, that's typical with, like, this type of situation.
It's so true.
He's like, look at me, you want to be me. And then
Literally. Literally. I worked for a company that was an MLM. We sold cable in Walmart, and it was essentially a cult. It was. And you know what? Our boss would just throw his money around wherever. He would throw it all around except for put it in our pockets. And that's something I feel like is very common with, any type of like leader in like an MLM or like a cult, is they're always willing to show you they got money, but they're never going to give you that money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you have to earn it.
All for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, they're making you pay for these classes and then flaunting their wealth. Like, you paid us this money and this is what we're buying with it. But in their classes, what they teach you is to, like, push the boundaries of love. And this was, like, the first problematic thing I saw while watching. I mean, there were a lot of problematic things, but this was, like, major, like, red flag. So, Jeff and Shalia thought that you needed to be with your twin flame no matter what. So if they didn't like you, like, you're not working hard enough on yourself and you need to like force that connection because they're your twin flame. Or one lady had a partner who was gay, and he was like, I love you as a friend, but like I don't have a sexual like attraction to you. Yeah. And Jeff was like, they're gay? No, they're not. You need to go and you need to work harder
Clearly
on that.
There's something you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like making him not want to be with you.
Yeah.
Really gross.
Mm-hmm. One girl, she got arrested for harassing and stalking her twin flame because that's what, Jeff and Shalia told her she needed to do. So she went to jail for a month. And then she comes back and they're like, oh, we've all wondered where you've been. And Jeff's like, she went to jail, right? Because you were stalking your ex. And it's like, well, you told me to do this.
Yeah.
Like, but anytime Jeff was supposed to be held accountable for like, well, I did this because of you, he always spun it back like, well, you need to look at yourself as to why your other, twin flame felt that you were harassing them. Like, what are you putting out there in the world? Never taking accountability for anything, even though one of his followers literally went to jail. And like so many people had harassment lawsuits against them because, I mean, the things he was teaching, he literally said like, go break their door down and grab their stuff.
He was like heavily like implying that like no
Consent meant nothing.
Consent meant nothing, exactly. Like that you don't take no as an answer, which
and that even went into like their like relationships.
Yes.
That with if somebody already had what they called like a harmonious union, they were very like strict with like hetero like normative like rules and like roles. So like the woman had to please the man.
Yes.
The woman had to be the man was giving her a gift and she had to be ready to receive it.
Yep.
We'll talk more about the divine feminine and masculine later. But like there were times where like some of their followers would be like, I wasn't in the mood to have sex, but because of how Jeff was teaching, it was like my partner would like badger me about having sex up to the point to almost like forcing me to have sex with him.
This man also was really into the whole be a honey badger.
Yeah.
Be a badger. So I just think that's really weird. Like that was a weird little I don't know. Very strange. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you off.
No, that's
but
great.
That was so strange.
Yeah, all of his like ideals, especially like within the like honey badger talk, it was very aggressive.
Yeah, it was really gross.
And it wasn't even like manipulative, like what he was telling to be to like his partners. It was all just like straight up aggressive.
Like he mentioned, like throwing her on the bed when she said she didn't want to kiss him or she didn't want to make out with him, and then gross.
Yeah, like I think his wife is like very much complicit in like what he does, but also in a way,
victim.
Yeah,
she's a victim there too.
Like the stuff he explains, like when he talks about his relationship with his wife, very much sounds like a sexual abuse type of thing. Like when she said no, I was like, "You're just kidding. You want to get laid by me?" And yada yada yada. Just disgusting. Jeff is not a good man. Jeff and Shalia can honestly eat shit. If anyone ever questioned like Jeff. Like if there was this one girl that was like, I do not like my twin flame. Like you put us together. I genuinely don't like him. I cannot stand him. I do not think this is my twin flame. And he was like, no, you're just not. Why do you hate yourself? Why are you thinking these bad thoughts about yourself? And she's like, I'm not. He is not me. And he straight up said, I am tired of this disrespect that you are showing me time and time again. Like trying to intimidate her, which is what a narcissistic, abusive personality does. And his wife was like, it's getting old. And I was so mad for her. But yeah, if you disagreed with anything they said, didn't like the person they chose for you as your twin flame, then you were like immediately booted out. Which scared people because when you're in a cult like this, like you just surround yourself fully into the cult and you don't have anything else
to fall back on at all. So yeah, obviously they didn't want to like jeopardize the only relationships they had.
Right. So this is all they had. And you had to be so invested in this group that you couldn't even have like a full-time job because that was taking away from you teaching the message of twin flames and like learning more about the message. And you weren't getting paid for any of this. The only time you would get paid is if you did a coaching session. And coaching sessions ran between like $20 and $60 a session. And at the beginning, everybody was allowed to keep all of their coaching money. But anytime somebody bought like classes or went to a workshop or anything like that, that money was all going into Jeff and Shalia's pockets. So a little bit of like monetary information for you guys, because I did go look on their website. I was so interested in it. The workshop and retreats, those videos, not even to go, but to watch those videos cost $200 to $300. The classes that they sell, like the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine, how to reach your, your next level of ascension to find your twin flame, those classes will run you $3,000 to $5,000.
It's giving like Scientology matchmaker.
Yeah.
Like,
no, literally yes.
Exactly that.
Literally yes. And well, they have a really great deal for if you just want the entire package that comes with their $20 book.
Oh, what is it?
That will run you $8,000. Just an affordable $8,000.
Oh yeah, that's nothing.
That's
truly nothing.
And people were like, I don't have that kind of money. And they were like, if you really want God's plan for you and you want to find your true love, you'll put yourself in debt to do it. And so people were like taking out credit cards to be able to pay for these fucking classes. One lady was like $20,000 in debt. Like, I'm sorry. No man is going to ever make me pay $20,000 for his teachings. Maybe if it was Lady Gaga. Like,
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. If she was like, let me teach you the way of love, I'd be like, I'm married, Lady Gaga, but I'm here to listen to everything.
I would not listen to Lady Gaga on that matter. So,
What would you pay Lady Gaga $20,000 to learn how to be a superstar?
I mean, yeah, that. But she would tell me the Illuminati. So
that's tea.
Yeah.
That's tea for another day. Well, so anyway, like I said, like the money that people pay to like take these classes, they're not reinvesting that back into their like cult at all. They're like, you would think like, oh, we're making money, I'm gonna pay the people that are doing this extra work for me, or I'm gonna like if they are working for me and I'm paying them, I'm gonna give them a raise. Like, you would think that that's usually what happens. If a company's doing well, you as an employee should also be doing well.
Yeah.
Right. And he talked about how like people are so poor and yada yada yada, and yet whenever he gets money, it just goes to him and Shalia. Like, your followers are like $20,000 in debt, yet Shalia's coming down to a workshop like covered in Chanel.
Yeah.
Like,
Dressed
that's
to the nines, driving their little Porsche. What was it, Cyan? I don't know how to say it. Ugh.
whatever the fuck it is. It's crazy to me. Hello, we're taking a quick pause because this is Gabby from the future, and I'm listening to this recording after we've recorded it, and I'm realizing that you can hear my children screaming in the background. So I don't want anyone to be alarmed, especially if you're listening to this and thinking it's your children screaming. It's mine. They're screaming with joy because they're playing, and I apologize if you can hear that. Anywho, back to the recording. Love you all. And then what kind of was a big downfall for a lot of the followers was, the coaches aren't making very much, but then Jeff decided that he was going to start taking 50% of the coach's income. So a lot of people are like hardly making enough to live on, and they're like, there's no way I can take a 50% pay cut just because your wife wants another like fucking Porsche or something.
I didn't even catch that when I watched it. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, that's what made one of their like big followers. Her and her husband had been together for like, I think like 4 years at that point. And that's what made her... No. Sorry, it was another person. They had actually made her change her gender. And so she was like going through like a transition at the time. And then she was like, there's no way I can fucking afford to take a 50% pay cut and do like HRT.
Ooh, yeah.
And on top of that, like, you keep telling me like this is going to get you to the next level and whatever. I've been waiting for 4 years to get to the next fucking level. Like, how much more do I have to give?
That's wild.
And the way he talks about his followers is just like fucking crazy.
He's very disrespectful. Oh yeah, he called them like rats at one point, like on Facebook or something.
Yeah,
I died at that.
Constantly like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Yes.
And like literally calling them like pieces of shit. And like the people that are like listening to it, they're like, yeah, like, you're right. I should do some like self-reflection.
I also noticed it was a lot of women. Like, a lot of women.
A lot of women.
In the beginning, until it starts to get crazy kooky. I mean, not that it's not already, but it does get worse.
And I feel like that makes it even more crazy that he's like so misogynistic in the way he talks, and even the way he talks to his wife.
Oh, disgusting.
It's like,
disgusting.
And the majority of his followers were women.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And ladies, this is why on Las Chismosas, we will always say, fuck those men.
Fuck men.
When we say fuck those men, Jeff is the men we're talking about. Jeff and everyone like him.
Jeff, if you hear this,
fuck you.
Fuck you.
You suck. You suck.
I'm trying to channel a Renee rap moment. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else she said besides fuck you.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah, fuck you.
We're putting you in our fucking burn book, bitch.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Like, goddamn, there's like a list of like insults I could throw at you right now.
We're joking. This is not a joke.
This is not. This is genuinely not a joke. This guy is literally like scum of the earth. The way that he makes women feel, and the way that he makes like he puts women in like this gender role, and even like a man in like a gender role. Like, you need to please your woman, and like you need to be. I don't fucking know. Like, men, honestly, in this cult, men have it good because it's like the woman's.
We're serving.
It's the woman's job to be a servant. Yep.
What else is new?
That's true. Well, so yeah, like the way he would talk about his followers, fucking crazy. He was talking about how like everyone needs to be paying him more money, and he doesn't want to hear the excuse that they don't have any money. And he was like, we have students that live in the third world countries, and like talking about one of his followers, he's like, that bitch pays me $3,000 a session, and she lives in a third world country. Like, what? This is crazy. If I were like an exec on his team and I heard him say that, I feel like that would be like, whoa.
Yeah. Maybe I should take a look at what I'm doing.
Yeah. Maybe you should
step back.
Yeah, if somebody's paying you $3,000 a fucking session, maybe you should give them a little fucking respect.
Ooh,
you know?
Yeah.
Well, so.
No, we're rats.
Yeah, literally. We're scum of the earth. So Jeff told one of his followers to figure out a way where he could get people to work for free. Because he didn't want to pay them. And so she's figuring out ways to get around like labor laws and shit. And that's when Jeff has the brilliant idea. He decided to form the Church of Union. And he started telling people that he was God.
Woo!
He was Jesus Christ himself. That's right. Jesus Christ. And a lot of the followers, like, it had not been about God up until this point. It just been, like, about your spiritual journey to find love. And then all of a sudden, this is what God's plan was for you, and Jeff was God.
Yep.
So, like, how are you going to question God's plan for
himself.
you? Exactly. It's just, like, one indoctrination tactic to another. Yeah, so now we're a church, and Jeff is God, and they bring on a doctor. Her name is Dr. Chrissy K, and she is in charge of the MAP project, which is short for Mind Alignment Process. Now, don't let the doctor fool you. While Dr. Chrissy K does indeed have a PhD, it is a PhD in leadership and public safety. And what she was doing in the mind alignment process was it was almost like hypnotherapy. She would get them to a place of, like, you know, vulnerability and, like, being easily suggestible. And she would start telling them, like, I think you had trauma in your childhood, or, like, you were, like, abused in your childhood.
Essentially planting seeds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this was good for Jeff and Shalia, because a lot of these sessions made people not trusting in their family, and a lot of them cut off their family.
Bro.
And they could only rely on their soul family, which were people that were
in the cult,
in the twin flame universe.
Genius.
Yeah.
Fuck you, but that's genius.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the documentary on Netflix, there's this one girl whose twin sister is in the cult. Mm-hmm. And she had completely cut off her family because they didn't believe in her journey. They didn't support her journey. And they just were never there for her throughout her whole childhood. And her twin sister was like, I thought we were like
besties.
Pretty fucking close. You know, that was my twin. That was my girl.
Yeah.
And so in the documentary, her name is Stephanie. She gets a soul sister. And that's her new sister. And she completely cut off her mom. She completely cut off her other sister. And so her sister, not in the cult, sends her an email and is like, we're thinking about having kids.
Yes,
I would really like for them to be able to meet their, like, really smart and courageous auntie. And they had never actually said, like, you're fucked up for being in this cult. They were just kind of like, we're concerned about you, you know. And her twin literally said, please do not contact me anymore. Like, we're not family.
Yeah, basically fuck off. That's, so sad.
And this mom started telling everybody about, like, this is a cult, this is fucked up, they've taken my daughter away from me, and Jeff tried to sue her.
Yeah.
But
like, for defamation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
ridiculous.
Then started telling people all this shit about Stephanie's mom. Like, and so Stephanie was like, that's also defamation if you want to get into it, and they dropped the suit.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just so
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just so crazy how easily, when you're in the situation, you can be isolated from your family, and then you have nowhere left to go.
Yeah.
Nowhere left to go.
It's typical.
So anyway, yeah, they had this doctor who had no business performing, like, psychological things on what she would call patients. They're not her patients. She's not a fucking doctor.
Literally just people.
Literally.
Victims.
Yeah. And there was this one girl that was like, I feel like I was, like, honestly, like, emotionally abused by this person, because what she's making me think, I think is true, and now my whole world's turned upside down, and now I've trauma bonded with these people, and I feel like I have nowhere else to go.
Woof.
On the topic of, like, mental illnesses and, like, mental disorders, there were a lot of their followers who had, like, different mental disorders. There was this one girl who got assigned a twin flame who she didn't even really like, you guys. She was like, I mean, he sent me, like, a message on Facebook, and it had, like, lyrics to a song, and I just, like, I wasn't into it. But Jeff told me this was my twin flame. I was going to have a harmonious union with him, and so I moved out to be with him. Turns out, y'all, this man didn't have a fucking job. This man had been arrested multiple times for, like, drug use. He was a drug addict. And the further that they got into their relationship, they figured out that he had, like, a schizophrenic, like, multiple personality disorder. And he would have these, like, really dangerous episodes. And she was like, I'm scared for myself. And what did Jeff tell her to do? Did he refer her to a psychiatrist? Did he say, you should get yourself out of this dangerous situation?
Tough it out.
He literally
harder.
He literally said, just reflect on yourself and how you can help your twin flame.
No.
Ladies, we need to protect ourselves, okay? It doesn't matter how long you've been with the person. You always have to put your emotional health and your mental health kind of like ahead of everything else.
That gut feeling as well.
If you're feeling like you're not safe, you need to trust yourself and know that you are not in a safe situation.
If a whole bunch of people are coming to you, like all these people's family, like it's
Literally. Yeah.
painful.
So that was the schizophrenic guy. And then they had another follower that was dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression. And they were posting on the page like every day, like, I'm having a lot of very dark feelings and I'm struggling with like how to work through them.
Yes.
Like, what should I do? How do I continue to work on myself? And they were like, just reflect, girl. Just reflect and look inward and everything will be fine. Because not only were Jeff and Shalia saying that you could have like your twin flame through this experience, but they were saying that Jeff and Shalia were all you needed. Like, you didn't need to take medication. You just had to work on yourself. You didn't need to seek therapy. You just needed to work on yourself. Yeah. Everything was going to be fixed as long as you followed their practices. Well, it turns out this girl actually ended up committing suicide.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, she committed suicide. And what does Jeff tell to his followers? He says, I can't ever make you do something that you don't want to do. So that way he didn't have to take responsibility for not making sure that one of his followers got help. And like, I get it, you can't like control what other people do, but
You
like,
absolutely can't, but this is just like another example
yeah.
of victim blaming, placing the blame off of yourself, which is something typical of narcissists. Like, it's just real.
He heavily influenced,
Yeah.
like,
It was obvious.
yeah, if he would have said, hey, I think you should go get help, I guarantee you, she would have went and sought, like, a professional.
Hey, maybe get back on your meds. I don't know if she was taking meds, but, like,
Yeah.
the situation.
And they just referred her to go and do, like, some more MAP sessions with Dr. Chrissy, who's not certified to do this kind of shit. Like, they were treating her like she was the fucking in-house therapist.
She was.
She was... But her PhD was in public safety. What is she therapizing us on? The fucking roadways?
The roads.
The fuck?
A stop sign.
God, and this is... Do you see a stop sign coming up to your left in your dream?
That's a red flag.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. This is where we talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And this I feel like is... I mean, they've done so much fucked up shit, but this one I feel like was what got the most, like, media attention.
It's really where it starts to take a
it just fucking downhill, bro.
twisty little turn.
So Jeff and Shalia come up with this concept that every person, no matter what your given sex is at birth, you're either feminine or you're masculine at your core. And so, like, people were, you know, kind of getting riled up in this group because they're like, I've been here for, like, 2-3+ years and I've yet to find my twin flame. Like, I'm doing all the exercises. Yeah, why isn't my person coming to me? And so Jeff and Shalia, knowing that they're kind of like, the jig was almost up, they were like, you know what?
Fuck.
We're gonna assign the twin flames. And so they did what was called like a calling in session where Jeff and Shalia, which I'm sure they like ate popcorn and watched Netflix in real life, but they told people that they were like, we talked to the divine God, which is Jeff. Yeah. And we just like manifested all of your twin flames, and they sent a list, and they didn't even tell the twin flames who, like, this is your twin flame partner. They gave the list to the coaches, and they were like, tell your people.
What the
hell? And so there were people that were like,
I thought it was like a cast list. Like, they posted it. You were like,
nope.
Oh, I got this person.
They sent it.
What?
They sent it to the coaches, and it was like a fucking, you know, when you get like, there's like a mass firing and HR is like, can we hop on a call for a quick sec? It's literally like that. But yeah, they were like, we have some great news for you. This is your new twin flame. And, you know, a lot of them were like, well, no, I'm like, I'm not a lesbian, or like, I am a lesbian, or something like that.
They were mostly same-sex partners at the time.
Yeah. And so they were like, well, that doesn't matter now. And if you were pursuing a relationship with anyone else who you thought was your twin flame, that's not your twin flame anymore. This person that we've assigned for you is. And because they had the divine masculine and the divine feminine, if you were a same-sex couple, one of you had to take on those gender roles. So, like, I forget. There's one same-sex couple that was I know her name was Anne, but I can't remember the other one. But they were same-sex couple, and they were like, okay, Anne, you're presenting as more masculine. You need to transition into a man.
Yeah, and they, like, pushing names on her, like, telling her she needed to cut her hair.
You need to choose a new name right now, and you need to adopt this, and then start transitioning. And, like, a lot of them, like, did it for a while, and even though they're like, I don't really agree with this. Yes. Yeah. And there was one girl that was like, okay, Jeff told me I need to come out to my mom, so I guess I'm going to do that. And so she's like, Mom, I'm a man now. And her mom was like, do you genuinely feel this way? Yeah. Or is it just because of what they told you to do? Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, you're right. It's literally just because they told me to. Mm-hmm. Like, and I just feel like that's so, like, traumatizing for, like, everyone in the situation. And I feel like it also invalidates, like, the trans community.
Trans people.
Yeah. Because that just kind of, I feel like that kind of, like,
solidifies they're choosing.
It's a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice. And not only that, but, like, it's not who they want to be. It's who we tell them to, like, be. So, like, we can control their bodies and what their decisions are with it. Yeah. Because of what Jeff told to do. And, like, there are people that have even gotten, like, top surgery. They're on HRT, like, fully changing their identities because of what Jeff told them to do. And so there's this video where he's, like, literally forcing Anne. He's like, your new name is Dan. And she's like, I don't like that. And he's like, but you're gonna like it because that's your new name. And why are you disrespecting me? Yeah. And, like, literally forcing her to say she liked the name Dan. And so when a reporter confronted him about it, and she was like, I mean, why did you force her to change her name? He's like, oh, I didn't. I never did that. No. Mm-mm.
Roll the tapes.
Yeah, and she said, I mean, you watched the same video I did. Yeah. And she's like, that was my take. And he's like, well, if that's your take and your opinion, then that's fine. Like,
typical
brother.
Narcissist behavior.
Yeah, he fucking tries, he'll, that's what he does in this cult. He gaslights his followers into always thinking, like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
In fact,
I'm
you're
right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
You're crazy to not listen to me.
How are you arguing with God right now?
Yeah, and you're not happy because you won't listen to me.
Clearly, you're not trying hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
And he's so, like, built up in the fucking patriarchy that this is a thing that had to happen to be in this cult.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't have women loving women because that's against his ideal, like, couple. You've got to have a man and a woman. You can't have a woman and a woman because then somebody's unhappy. Fucking stupid.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, and then this is kind of, like, when you get into, like, also he enforced those dangerous stereotypes on, like, for, like, men. Like, you have to, like, you don't take no for an answer. Consent is stupid.
What's that dickhead's name? I can't remember. Andrew Tate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fully believe, like, Jeff just hates women.
Yeah.
And if Drew Afualo would have, like, got him before he got big.
Destroyed his ass.
Yeah, he just this man needs to be taken down, like, 10 notches, dude. I hope he ends up, like, fucking homeless or something. Yeah. Oh, and they're having a baby, right? Oh, they already had a baby. Okay. So, everyone has a twin flame, right? But they were in the process of doing a baby. They were doing IVF. And Shalia said it wasn't because she was having infertility issues. It's because she wanted to make sure that her spiritual daughter ended up in the right body. And so they wanted it to be a girl. And they were like, she's going to be our third flame. So we are 3 flames with Grace.
Oh my God.
And they were talking about how she's just going to be this spiritual being and how she will never have sex. She can only have sex with God. Which I thought was crazy that Jeff said that. Because he thinks he's God. Yes.
What the fuck, dude?
Yes. It's disgusting.
It's very obvious where that's going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I didn't finish it, so I'm like, what happens next?
Yeah. We don't know.
Are you fucking serious?
They refused to comment. I mean, they had their baby. Her name is Grace, like they said.
That's terrifying.
Like, yeah, I'm fucking scared for that baby. Like, I don't know.
Holy
the cult
shit.
The cult is very much still, like, prevalent. Like, you could sign up today if you wanted to take classes. And they're, like, even selling out tickets for, like, their workshops. And I'm like, who the fuck?
It's like, I wish we could infiltrate without paying all the money.
Well, apparently you can.
Oh.
So the people that are trying to bring the twin flames down, they're trying to, like, there's a Facebook forum, I guess. It's like Twin Flames Open Forum, and so you can, like, get on their twin flame and, like, pretend to infiltrate, and then, like, when you're talking to somebody, be like, "Are you okay? are you okay? Like, this sounds bad for you.
Gotcha.
But, like, infiltrating the group without actually, you know, because I'm not paying that fucking money.
Exactly.
I'm not giving Jeff or Shalia a fucking cent of my money, okay?
Eat it.
I thought about, like, buying that book because I wanted to read it and see what it said. Just see how fucking stupid it is.
Secondhand or something.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You don't have to give them money directly.
Yeah, but because it's the book, that's what brings you in. Is the book is only $20.
Bitch.
So of course you're like, oh my god, twin flame, like love of my life, spiritual guidance, yes. And then it's like, okay, the next course you take to be able to find them is going to be $300.
I'm not giving them even $20.
Not even fucking $20, dude.
Ew, fuck them. Did he write it or did they both write it?
They both wrote it. Which I'm sure, like,
it's him.
Slap their names on it, yeah. Because everything, I just have a hard time, especially, like, the person they said Shalia was when she was Megan. Like, I just have a hard time thinking that at the beginning she would have been like, yes, patriarchy, serve my man.
He broke her down, is what you're saying?
That's what I feel like. So I feel like he wrote that book and slapped Shalia's name on it to make it seem like they were the perfect couple.
Ooh, very Handmaid's Tale.
But yeah, that's some fucked up shit, man. You can catch the documentaries that I watched on it on Netflix. It's called Escaping Twin Flames. And then Prime, it's called... Oh shit, what's it called? Where's my phone?
Maybe.
It's like Soulmates Seeking Soulmate. Oh, it's called Desperately Seeking Soulmate, Escaping Twin Flames Universe. So yeah.
Alright.
And then if you want to listen to a little podcast, you can listen to Las Chismosas. You know, we love that. And if you're hearing this, you already have. But we're gonna talk about a lot more stuff, so keep coming. Who's the bitch's name that plays Encanto? Beatrice, or that plays Mirabelle? Stephanie Beatrice. Stephanie Beatrice. She has a podcast, I think it's called Twin Flames, where she fully, like, dives into all of this shit, and you don't have to listen to fucking Jeff What's His Nuts speak. So if you don't even want to hear him talk, listen to this podcast. And then,
because he's disgusting, absolutely appalling.
Yeah. And you know what? I hope something big happens. Like, I know they're, like, people are trying to get enough evidence against him to be able to get an investigation going. Because in cults like this, most times they're not, like, broken up until, like, a big, like, legal scandal happens, and then Jeff is going to jail, and, like, it all tumbles down from there. So the most we can do right now is not pay for any of their shit and spread the word so nobody else pays for any of his shit, because he doesn't deserve anyone's money. He deserves to be in jail for something.
He's gross.
Yeah, for being just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, he's gross. He's disgusting.
We were talking. I've been watching a lot of Forensic Files, you guys, and I've, like, realized that I probably couldn't murder anyone without getting caught. And I was discussing it with my friends, and my friends were like, "You know what?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't Sadie. This is new for her." I can't tell you. What if they murder someone and then it's online?
Go on.
But anyway, we were talking about. One of my friends was like, "It should be a law where if someone just commits the most disgusting crime in the world, like, you should just be able to, like, hunt them." Like,
literally hunt them.
You shouldn't care if they go missing. And Jeff's one of those fucking people, okay? He's one of those. I don't even care if it's like if somebody gasps at that, because he fucking deserves it. Fucking deserves it.
No, yeah, whatever.
Well, that's our episode for you guys. I know it was a lot. I know it was. This was kind of the second time I've gone over, like, a cult, but this one was more in depth. I think they're really interesting. And if you guys like cults and you want me to talk about them, I'm thinking of talking about, like, the Jeff Warren, kind of like Mormon scandal and cult and whatnot.
Love the Mormons.
The Mormons
as a topic.
I love, and I religiously watch Sister Wives.
And I religiously watch Salt Lake City Real Housewives. So
basically a cult.
Together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you guys like that idea of us talking more about cults, we could even do, like, a mini series over it. Ooh. You know, happy to always trash cult leaders, because that is my life's work. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Let us know on Instagram. Send us a DM. As always, if you want us to get back to telling your stories on the internet, send us some. Send us some stories. Maybe it doesn't even have to be about you. It can be about a lady 2 doors down who, I don't know, you got the tea somehow.
You heard them yelling.
Bring us tea. Bring us some fucking tea. We want it, okay? Yeah. How did you like the wine?
I'm almost done with this very large glass that you poured me.
Yeah, I poured Sadie a hefty glass.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I like it too, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
I don't like my wine too sweet, and this was intense.
I don't know what the word is when it's not. It doesn't taste like water, but it's not very strong. Like the bitterness of it.
No idea. For that.
My father-in-law made us taste wine, and I said, "Oh, it tastes very light," and he said, "I wouldn't consider this a light wine." I'm like, "All right."
Tannins.
There's not a lot of yuck in it. I think it's more yum and less yuck.
5 S's. I'm trying to think of other words that go with wine tasting.
Look at the legs.
The legs. That is something we do. Anyway. We can talk about this forever.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. We have reached the portion of the episode where I tell you guys everything that Austin has to offer in your area. It's mostly drag because this is a queer space and you should support queer art, but there's some other fun things on there for you as well. Fridays at 9 p.m. is when we can see Kingdom at Oil Can Harry's. It's hosted by Alexander the Great, and you can see Bridget Bandit, Selma Body, and Kino Lay It Down. So go check out Kingdom's Friday at 9. Also starting Friday at 9 is Dollywood. You can catch that at Cheer Up Charlie's. I don't know how Bridget Bandit's going to do both.
She's probably not going to be there at Kingdom on Fridays.
LOL. Okay, so Bridget Bandit may not be at Kingdom on Fridays, but Bridget Bandit will be at Cheer Up Charlie's doing Dollywood. She will be portraying Dolly herself.
Duh.
Sinful Purchase will be Patti LaBelle. And then we can see Sir Maxim, who's one of our favorites, as Senator Brian Hughes. It should be a really good show. It'll be from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., so that's a late one.
Is that the one Roy Orbison is DJing at?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry if I'm wrong.
I don't know, actually. I'm looking. Make sure we got our facts right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. Boy Orbison will be DJing. It should be a really good show. These queens are just fucking... queens and kings are fucking amazing.
Yes.
Saturday at 7 p.m., you can catch Drama Gaze with, again, Sinful Purchase. We love them. Laurie Bird and Sir Maxim. This is a really good show, guys. It's a little bit early on our Saturday night, so if you're not feeling the late night Saturday, go see Drama Gaze. It's a lot of fun. Tip your queens. Give them your support. If you are a late night girly, go to the Best Drag Show Ever, hosted by Ritzy Bits, and probably Celia Light will also be there. It's hard to know exactly what queens will be showing up at Best Drag Show Ever, just because there are so many good queens.
They're so busy.
Yeah, they're so busy.
Yeah.
Every queen that's like amazing, they're just
They're
like
booked.
There. They're fully booked.
They'll be there.
But yeah, if you want to see a really good drag show, I think Ritzy is such a good fucking host. Mm-hmm. This is just the drag show to take your friends to. So go see BDSE. If you're not a late night girly, go see Drama Gaze on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have Cocktails and Comedy, stand-up comedy from 7:30 to 9:30. This will be at the Vulcan Gas Company, which is on 418th East 6th Street in Austin. And then you can also, if you're not hungover from the day prior, or even if you are hungover, you can go check out the drag brunch at the ATX, at the Courtyard in ATX. Brunch is at 12 p.m. and then the showtime's at 1 p.m. Where you can see Arena, and this is hosted by Diamond Dior, who we love. If you've never seen Diamond Dior perform, like, you're missing out. Diamond Dior is fucking great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So is Arena, though.
Arena.
Love her.
Love it. We should have a contest sometime to see who can roll their R's the longest. I think I'd lose. Anyway. Right. Last but not least, this one is a little bit of ways. It's... Shit, why didn't I write the date down? I'm an idiot.
January.
Well, anyways, you guys know we have our favorite, Gothish Jasmine, and we love supporting their work. So on January 27th at 6 p.m. is when they will be having Camera Obscura, and that will be at 2200 Tillery Street. Now the tickets they're a little expensive, but you get a full course meal, and you get to watch a movie, and there are performances. So I feel like you're definitely getting a bang for your buck. Tickets are selling out really fast. So if you love horror movies and you love drag and you fucking love food, buy tickets. I'm going to say right now, I will probably be there because I love Gothis and I love horror movies.
It looks insane.
It looks so fucking fun. So, Camera Obscura, January 27th at 6 p.m. You can get your tickets on Gothis's Instagram, but I will also put a link on our Instagram for you, and then you can also find it here in our description below. Anyway, that's it for you guys. Thanks, Sadie, so much for joining us.
Yeah, I had fun.
Had so much fun. We will be back next week talking about more shit. Maybe with Mandy, maybe with Kaylin, maybe it'll just be me. And you'll love it. Anyway, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week. Bye.